Hi there, and welcome to Lesson 1 on how to produce a contemporary deep house record with me, Rob Webster. In this lesson, what we're going to do is focus solely on the beats. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have downloaded your Udemy Deep House Pack from the Udemy files. Once you have those, you should have the various samples available, such as the clap, close hat, kick, open hat, ride, shaker, snare 1 and snare 2, and also a deep house drum rack pack in there. Now, so once you've located those on your desktop, what we need to do is copy over the kick drum. But before we do that, I'm going to play you the beat that I've done as it stands. The track that you heard in the demo, these are the beats for it. So I've taken away all the music and we're just going to have the beats here. So here we go. Here's the beat. Okay, so what we need to do is copy our kick over, like so, and add it 8 times. So make sure you select them all, and right-click and consolidate, and then right-click again and loop selection. There you go, there's our kick drum. Right, the next thing we want to do is get the closed hats. So find closed hat and drag that over to a channel. And open up the arrow here so you can see what you're doing. And we're going to recreate this pattern here. Let me just solo those two. So what we need to do with this closed hat is double click on it and just take the volume down slightly so it comes down a bit because it was too loud. Okay, now then, what we need to do is open up what we're doing here. Let's just get those up so we can see the same as that. And then open that so we have 3 of these like this. Like that. So it goes. So if you can see that there, you can copy those over, and then we go. And then we have another one there. I think that's there. That's right. And then another one there. So it goes like. And then another one there. And then for the second part, what we need to do is copy this bit. So it's exactly the same. So what we can do is copy all of this over onto that line there. But what we do with the last one is we change that slightly. And we put one in the middle here. So let's close that down a bit there and put that in there. And close that again. Shorten that block and pull that right behind that one there, so it's like so. So if you can see that pattern there like that. Okay, so hopefully you should have that, and then right click on all of that and select it all, right click again, consolidate. It just so that it makes it easy to copy over later on when we start the arrangement, and you can change the colour however you want. Okay, next thing what we want to do is we want to put in some open hats. Now we're just going to do this in the very traditional sense where we get the open hats and put that over there for now so we can see. Drag out your arrangement view and we'll put this on every other kick drum. So sorry, it's just there. Right, like so. Like that. And then the best thing to do is to highlight those two, right click, consolidate, and make it easier so you can copy them over quicker, and just copy them over 4 times. Now with this open hat, it's quite a rough one. It's quite rough on the edges. Sounds like there's some sort of percussion underneath that, which gives it an extra bit of swing. So we've got those over now then. Now with this open hat, what I've done is I've gone to my audio effects panel down here, and I've gone to audio effects and opened up an EQ8 and put that down. Now what you can do with the EQ8 here is, if you've seen, if I've taken a low pass filter onto number 3. Before it was like that. So what I've done is I've taken away all the bottom end as much as I can, so that it just brings out the top bit so that it doesn't clash with the kick drum. But we'll do more on the EQs later, but for now it would just be good if you could do that as well. Okay. Okay, that's that done. The next thing we're going to do is put in snare 1. So if we find snare 1 in our pack, and that's this one, and then we'll drag that over, and what we do with the snare is we put it in on every other, so it's like so. So miss one. If you want to count by blocks, it makes it a lot easier. So you've got 4 little blocks there. 1, 2, there, and there. Sorry, there. And what we do is at the very last one, we put one on there, like so. So if you open up that, you can see. So it gives it an extra, like an offbeat kick. Okay, so that's that done. So try and follow that pattern there. And just for a recap, you can do the open hats and the closed hats over as well, so you can see exactly where they'll fit into the arrangement. So if I open that up more, you'll see that. Okay, moving on. Right, the next thing we want to do is put in a second snare. Now, in order to do this, what we do is we have this come in very subtly, and it sounds like this. And again, if you see what I've done with the EQ on the bottom of that, I've put an EQ on it and just rounded it off with the frequencies that are visible. So we take the snare 2 out of our pack and drag that over so that we've got it here. But what it's going to do, it's going to come off in an offbeat situation. So there, so like that. So it's one after the end of that one. So it goes like this. And if you can see the EQ, we just want to bring out a little bit of the, because I've taken a high pass filter onto the end of it so that it takes away the snappiness. What I've done is I've just widened it slightly so that it's got a little bit more treble to it. So as you can tell already that the beat's always starting to take shape with the swingness of it, with adding the second snare that comes in on the offbeat. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add in the claps. Now the claps come in on a very straightforward thing. They come in exactly the same as the snare, so you just need to line them up with the snare. And then on the last one, same again. Okay, and the same with the clap. I've just taken away the bottom end by adding a low pass filter. Now the rise cymbal is this one. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to open it up so you can see, and we're going to shorten it. First of all, we're going to double click and take the volume down slightly so that it's not aggressive. That's better. Okay, now what we do with this, if you can see with the one I've already recorded, is we're going to cut it right down so that it goes like this, like that. So with 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and 1 2 3 4, like so. Look like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a sidechain to that. So what we need to do is click on your audio panel down here and add a compressor from the audio effects rack. And double click on compressor. And once we've done that, you need to add another channel underneath your kick. So go to create, insert audio track, and then what we're going to do is we're going to copy the audio of the kick down to that channel, rename it, and just change it to sidechain mute, because this isn't going to play. What this is going to do is we're going to unmute it so that we can't hear it, but it's exactly the same as the kick above. Now what we do is we go back to the rides and then we click on the compressor, make sure the compressor's on, and we click the yellow arrow here. And then what we do is we turn on the sidechain here, and then you select audio from sidechain mute, which is the one we've just created. Okay, and then you pull your threshold right down to the bottom, and then you solo the ride. And now it's got that pumping sidechain effect. And then we drop it on top of the kick. And it just gives it that extra dynamic, and it just takes away all that real hissiness of a traditional ride sound. Okay, that's that done. Don't forget to save your project as you go along. It's one of the most important things you can do. And also keep naming your individual tracks. Okay, next thing then is we want to go back to our samples and get the shaker hat and put that in. Now with this, it's already preset, one on every other bar, so it's, and then you can just copy that over. And that just gives it a real driving swing along to it. Okay, right, that's that done. And for the final part of this tutorial, what we're going to do now is we're going to add the drum rack. So we need to create a MIDI drum rack. So get a plain one over here, put that in. Obviously it comes up with the kit core built into it. So you go back to your sample pack that I did, and then there's a deep house swing percussion, and drag that onto it like so. And there we go. You'll have 4 sounds in here. Like that. There's a snare with a kick under it, and a sliced little kind of snare thing there, and 2 hats. And what we need to do is you need to locate those on your keyboard, and we're going to record in a pattern, and they will be located to the F, the F sharp, the B flat, and the C sharp, or the D flat, which is further down. But what we're going to do is we're going to play in this pattern, which is the 2 hi-hats on the F and the F sharp, and then we're going to hit the B flat, which is like this. I'm going to do it really slow. Like that. So it's the 2 hi-hats like that. 1, 2, 3, and then you hit the snare, and then back to the F sharp for one last hi-hat. And then we'll add that one in, we'll draw that one in last. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my metronome on and press record. Double click on it, open it up. If you see fold here, just get rid of that. And then all this in the dark grey area, we're going to delete that. And then here we're going to solo what we've just done with a kick. So we've got some sort of pattern to play with. Okay, so what I'm missing there is one of those, like that. So we need to grab them all and edit and quantize. So you should have that pattern. So it goes. So there you go. That's all you have to do with that. And then what we need to do is we need to add in the little thing down here on the D flat or the C sharp. And what we do with that, we copy one of those and bring that in there and put it like this. So we put it underneath this F1 here, look. So we just copy those over like that. Okay, and that's the beats arranged and set up. Obviously we'll add a crash later on, as well as we get more and more into the production of the track and some whoosh effects and things like that. So let's just do a quick recap on where we are. We've got the kick, the closed hat, the open hat, the snare 1, snare 2, clap, rides with the side chain, shaker, and the deep house perk swing. And that is it for this lesson. So hopefully you've got all of that into your arrangement, and any problems, just email me and I usually respond within 24 hours. So head over to the next lesson where we're going to introduce the bass line and an arpeggio and start to get the track into some kind of arrangement shape. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.